We have Sam Shinohara. He is the Managing Director of Airport Operations for Asia Pacific, and we will get to that interview first, but we've got to sign off
on the telly.
Right, on the television. So to our viewers on KUAM television, thank you for joining us. Switch over to 93.9 and or on Facebook. So goodbye.
And we're back.
Back already? Are we back already? We are on our way. It takes a few, pressing of some buttons.
Back. All right, and we're back on the link here on The Breeze 93.9 FM. Remember, you can call us up and join the conversation. The number is 637-0094. Join us in the comment section on the KOM Facebook Live. That's where everybody's at. That's where the party's at. So join us there and ask your questions. I think it's the important your part, to ask questions. But then let's get to our guests in the Zoom room here.
Yeah, again, this is Sam Shinohara, the Managing Director of Airport Operations for Asia Pacific for United Airlines. Good morning, Sam.
Off day, Sabrina. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you so much for coming on this morning. I know, well, first of all, congratulations and thanks for everything you guys do. I mean, the United Airlines, I saw the plane in the video with the vaccines being unloaded. So you guys have really been involved in COVID response, not just on Guam, but across the country and the world.
Well, hey, thanks for that, Sabrina. But certainly it's taken a lot of effort across the globe to make this happen. And, if we were waiting to prepare for the vaccine shipments just yesterday or over the weekend when it was finally approved, we wouldn't have it here on Guam today. And so, all this work started many, many months ago. I think it started in the middle of the summer. And, as you know, we work in a super highly regulated industry. And so it's taken a lot to get this across the goal line. And so, I think we're pretty thrilled that, United Airlines, the hometown carrier here on Guam, was able to do this. But more importantly, I think this is the start. It's kind of the beginning of the end for us, if you will, right? And so, I think this is going to save lives for sure. And then for us, I think it's going to help get our business going, and it's going to help Guam's economy significantly. So I'm eager to, see the first person get their shot in their arm, and I'm eager to transport even more of them into the island and get it out in the community at large.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Sam, you guys at United, I mean, you carry precious cargo on a daily basis, but the amount of hope that's attached to that one little container that you flew in yesterday, that's pretty major, man. Talk to us about how the company and the airline's feeling about that.
Yeah, well, hey, it's overwhelming. I think the feeling is for sure. And I think for an industry like ours that's been just totally decimated by this pandemic, it's a great feeling, quite frankly, right? So, we're excited about it. The team's really, I don't think we're celebrating, but, certainly, taking a moment to breathe the air in, if you will, because a lot of effort went into this. Whether it was aircraft technicians, our engineers, our pilots, our flight attendants, our government affairs guys, the amount of coordination to make an event like this happen is pretty significant. Simple things like making sure that air traffic control is controlled for a particular airplane that's carrying in this vaccine, so then I have to wait in line to land an airplane, right? And expediting everything. You guys saw what happened on the runway yesterday. We had fire trucks. Just kind of everybody was, secured the scene, if you will, and made sure that precious cargo made its way, right? And so, that's not my information to share, but, mm-hmm. It sounds cliche, but, it really takes a village to make all of these things happen. And so, we're really excited to do that. We're really excited that, we're the first passenger airline to be able to do this. And it didn't start with this, Andy, in terms of precious cargo, besides you guys, human beings on an airplane on a regular basis, certainly you guys are precious cargo, but, for us, on Guam in particular, I'm really proud to say that Guam's really played a really pivotal role in America's recovery, but in the world's recovery as well. So I'm not sure you guys are aware, but Guam's kind of turned into like a cargo hub operation for United Airlines. And You know, I mean, we took a little bit of hit in the very, very beginning, operating flights in and out of China to Guam. But, you know, I mean, those cargo missions were carrying precious stuff, not only for Guam, but for the balance of the United States mainland. We were carrying much needed masks, PPE, you know, even the first ventilators that made its way to New York, just different things like that. I mean, I don't think anybody, you know, kind of outside my team here on the ground and our cargo ops team around the world understands the pivotal role that Guam has played. And it wouldn't have been possible if we didn't have the infrastructure here to support it, right? And so, you know, I mean, it's been amazing. You know, I was explaining to the governor yesterday, you know, that these flights come in and they generally come in fairly empty in from the United States, with the exception of yesterday. We had precious cargo, obviously. You know, that news was shared by the government folks. But generally they're coming in pretty empty. They come, we do we gas and go. We change the crew out. They operate to China or Singapore or Hong Kong. And they come right back, and then we flip them and we run them direct into the United States, take off whatever is bound for or destined to Guam. You know, I mean, so it's been a really great feat. You know, and it's you know, quite frankly, we're not operating enough passenger flights here right now, so it's kept the team on the ground busy. Our tech ops and our ramp guys are really busting their butts, you know, to kind of move these things, and it's been great to see. It's been great to see.
You know, not only, you know, you're talking about the supplies, the ventilators, but you guys also, you had this partnership with the Guam Memorial Hospital, bringing in medical personnel. And, you know, I really wanted to recognize you guys for that. And really, if you could talk a little bit more about that partnership with GMH. And
yeah, well, Sabrina, I don't think there's anybody who's listening to your show who hasn't been impacted by COVID in one way or another. Either they've gotten sick themselves, a family member's gotten ill, they've lost a job, or God forbid, they know someone who's lost their life. You know, and yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that, you know, my company is a pillar in the community here, and this community has given so much to United Airlines. In terms of talent, you know, I mean, we've got an amazing workforce here that have been born and bred and developed here, and many have gone on to greater things. You know, and as you know, being the hometown carrier, it's not just a moniker for us. You know, I mean, we live and we breathe that every day, and I think it was super important for us to figure out what we could do to help in the fight against COVID, right? And so I'm not a medical professional. You know, I mean, my team's not trained to work at the hospital, but man, we can fly people in. You know, we can save Lillian and the government of Guam a couple of bucks on air travel, and you know, hopefully that money spent on, you know, kind of higher priority things. You know, I mean, so this was our way to give back. You know, and I think it was a meaningful way for us to contribute. And you know, I mean, every day we look for different ways to contribute, not just to the recovery, but to the betterment for the betterment of the island for sure.
I want to say it was like over 80 medical personnel that United.
Yeah, Sabrina, that stat is like over 10 days old. We're well over 100 professionals that we've transported in and out so far. So, you know, I mean, it's and Guam's needed the help, right? And so, I mean, I'm sure you have friends that are doctors or nurses, and they're worn out. You know, I mean, so I think the influx of assistance is, you know, it was dire at the time, and thank God, you know, I mean, the ICU is not as crowded as it is, but you know, I mean, we're on our road, our way to recovery, and you know, I think Andy and you said it well as you opened the segment. We just need to keep up the momentum. People need to do the smart things, and you know, let's get through the first half of next year, and then you know, hopefully we can celebrate the right way next year.
Right. And for United, you know, aside from GMH, you know, the pandemic, it has prompted, you know, all of us individually, the business community, to become more safety conscious. And I know that United, they've taken all these steps. You just announced a new a program, the Clorox Total 360 system. Yeah. So you could talk about that.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, hey, it all started with us spraying the airplanes, right? To give folks a little bit more comfort that the airplane was virus-free. You know, I mean, I think if you pay attention to all the scientific studies that have been done, there's a lot of good information that, the air filtration and the way the air flows on an airplane, quite frankly, it's safe as an operating room in terms of, how clean the air is. But, people touch things, and when things are on the ground. And so we've been spraying the airplanes, kind of a virus killer spray, if you will. We've partnered with the Cleveland Clinic and Clorox to come up with a plan, not just a product, but a plan to, do our fair share in terms of making people comfortable that, our product is safe. And beyond spraying the airplane, we're spraying all of the high touch point areas that the customer has and our employee area. So meaning we're spraying break rooms, we're spraying the ticket counters very frequently throughout the day, and we're spraying the gate holds that United's using. Also all the high touch point areas, and we're working working with the airport to make sure that when the customer base comes back and we're still having to deal with this, we were prepared for that, and the airport is going to be prepared for it as well. So there's a lot of effort that goes into it, but I think generally the comments that I see written is hey, the airplanes never looked cleaner, and certainly the airports never looked cleaner, right? And so I think we've learned a lot, and I think we're going to get better every day as a result of this thing. So some lessons learned for sure.
You mentioned, when the passenger base does come back, and the way the fluidity of this situation, it's impossible to predict what's going to happen 6 months from now, a year from now. So do you guys have some immediate forecasts that you're looking at? Like, hey, we can sort of expect things to start rebounding?
Yeah, hey, Andy, I think if I could forecast, I love my job, just so we're clear. I love working and doing what I do. But if I could forecast that, my God, I think I'd be doing something a little bit different. Hey, every day we're looking at it. We're always looking, I think positive news on Guam is going to influence the future, the immediate future for us, right? And so our customer base is a very, very finicky customer base. Our Japan and Korean customers, those are our top visitors. Taiwan is a distant third, but they represent an important customer base for us. So we look at it all the time. I work closely with the folks on GBB. I sit on the board. I work closely with the governor's physician advisory group. So, I think we're well on our way with, kind of putting plans in place to reboot the industry. I just think that, yesterday's news or today's news, really with the vaccine coming out, is certainly going to help our proposal. We got to make sure Guam is safe. We got to make sure Guam is ready. I say this all the time, that the first customers, the first tourists to Guam are going to be the most important, right? Because their experience is going to tell the story, and it's certainly going to influence, what other people do, and influence their decisions to visit Guam. So it's kind of hard to say, but, I think the first 3 to 4 months of next year are not going to be anywhere near where we want it to be, but we need to start somewhere. And so, hey, we get 10 customers come in, and they're sitting in the PIC or the Hilton or the Westin or the Hyatt, whatever hotel they're staying at, we're going to go out of our way to wine and dine them and make sure that the experience is safe on Guam, right? And so if I could just make a plea to, the entire community, that we need to do a lot to take care of the destination, right? And so, when you drive around Guam, it's sometimes it's a little bit tough, right? And, the pandemic certainly has gotten our way of, kind of pushing, the island-wide beautification. And there's no shortage of effort or things of that nature. It's just become much more difficult. So if everyone could, lend a hand to do their part to clean up the island, I think that would be a great thing. And I think a great family activity as well, as people are exercising and doing different things, right? And so, it makes a big difference. And certainly this is what we sell. We sell Guam's beauty. And that's why people come here for sure.
Right. Well, we really appreciate your time. Sam, we've got to get to John Fernandez. He's on his schedule. But thank you so much for coming on the show. And thank you so much for what United Airlines is doing to help us during this pandemic.
Thank you guys very much. And Merry Christmas and have a great holiday season.
Merry Christmas.
John, good luck opening the schools, man.
Thanks, Sam.